are your hosts of Financially Tuned, Mark Fricks and Tony Shore.
Hi, and welcome to another show of Financially Tuned with me, Mark Fricks from Master Plan Retirement Consultants, and our co-host today, Tony Shore. You know, we're excited that you're with us today because we're going to have a really neat topic. We're going to be talking about your retirement and the big question, is your retirement good enough? And so the way we're going to cover that subject is we're going to be looking at how to create a plan. We're going to be talking about how to not outlive your retirement income. We're going to touch on maximizing Social Security. And also another big part of that is how do you handle risk in retirement? So a great show coming up.
All right. And Mark, I assume you mean financial risk in retirement.
Yes, I do.
Good.
Is there any other?
Well, there's a lot of risk out there, but in our day-to-day lives, that's for sure. But Mark, it's great to be back. We haven't talked to each other in a few days, and I missed doing the show with you. I'm glad to be back on the air with you this week. Thanks for having me on your show. How have you been?
Been great. It's I've missed speaking with you for the last week or so. We've been, of course, it's summertime, and summertime is travel time, and so we've been blessed to be able to get away a little bit and enjoy some sun and beach and things like that. So, but it's great to be back. I just, as much as I enjoy the downtime, I love my job, our work, and our passion so much that I just look forward to getting back. So it's great to be back in the seat, great to be back in front of clients. We taught a Social Security class last night and had about 50 folks there, and ended up with about 12 or 15 appointments of folks that want to come in and discuss their situation. So we got another 60 people going to be meeting with us tomorrow night in a class, and just a lot of great stuff going on. People looking for help, people understanding that this retirement stuff is not as simple as they thought it might be. So
right.
They need some help, and it's really a blessing to be able to do that.
Oh, I think that's great, and it is. And what I like, Mark, about what you're talking about here is your willingness to help. You really have a passion to help those in the community and educate them. In these classes that you lead, there's no charge, and they're purely educational. It's not a sales pitch. You're not trying to sell a timeshare or get people to sign up for insurance policies. It's really educational, isn't it?
It really is, and it's such. We get the blessing. We had a client in the other day, and they'd come to a class a few months ago, and she's a divorced lady, been divorced, and basically raised her two daughters by herself. And so one of her daughters and she was in the meeting, and we were wrapping up the fourth or fifth meeting. So we were pretty much wrapping up the retirement planning process and getting ready to go into the mode of just kind of meeting once or twice a year to adjust. And she basically, her daughter just with tears in her eyes, just started telling us how much she appreciated what we had done. She knew her mom was taken care of. She knew financially that her mom had the money to last a retirement lifetime. And it brought tears to my eyes because that's the reward we get. And it's just to hear those words was just really priceless.
Well, yeah, and a big part of what you do for people, and people think, oh, it's just, working with my finances and retirement income plans, but you're helping people, you're giving them peace of mind. And that's why people out there and our listeners, I can't stress enough, you need to sit down with someone like yourself, like Mark Fricks, and have a plan laid out, because you'll have a peace of mind. You won't have to worry every time there's market volatility, which is right now with what's going on with the global markets. This morning, the news was not good once again because of China, and things like that happen. So it really is important, and this topic today is a necessary topic to address. Is your retirement good enough? Because there's a lot of information to take into consideration before you retire, and even once you're in retirement. And it really has to do a lot with people living longer, and therefore worrying about running out of money, right?
It really is. It's living longer, and it's just the complications of our world today. And so, pulled a few figures together, and basically, if you're a man reaching 65 today, you can expect to live until age 84. And if you're a woman turning 65 today, you can expect to live to be almost 87. And so, you're talking about a lot of time in retirement. That's that's 20 plus years there. And then they go on some of the other figures we pulled together that 1 out of every 4 65-year-olds will go past age 90, and 1 out of every 10 65-year-old would live past 95. And so, from one standpoint, that's great news. We're living longer, we're living healthier. We have good health care and good technology that's just continuing to help us live a better life, quality of life. But the bad news is it takes money and it takes planning, and so it's just a different time. The class we taught last night, one of the new risks that we've introduced over the last year or two is the longevity risk, the risk of living too long or outliving your money. So it is a complicated situation that just requires a lot of pre-planning.
Sure, and the fact that people are living longer should really call for a fundamental shift in the way that they plan for their retirement, right? I mean, are there ways that people can prepare for a retirement that's going to be good enough to meet their needs and goals?
Well, absolutely, and then that's the reason we exist. It's really the quality of your retirement is really contingent upon really the ability to leverage assets, so you can guarantee the ability to generate income for a lifetime. Retirement is all about income and replacing that paycheck. So we start in our planning process with planning that income, planning how much do you need coming in, how do we meet those goals, and I really believe, and I see it every day, every week, that with the right planning and with the help of somebody that knows what they're doing, that you can develop a strategy to protect your future and get that peace of mind we talked about.
Well, exactly, and it's that peace of mind that really counts, and I think everyone can benefit from a retirement planning overview. What's one of the first steps, Mark, that you would encourage us to start off with when planning out our retirement?
Well, that's an easy one, Tony. It's get help. This is not something you want to mess around with. Every little thing you may miss if you're trying to do your own planning could cost you money. And a lot of these decisions, once you make it, it may be too late to change it. And so get some help. Get a financial professional. And let me go one step further. It's one thing to use a broker or an agent or something as you're when you're 30 and 40 years old, or go into the bank and use the little broker there and things like that. But this is a whole different level of planning. This is retirement consulting, retirement planning, and it's not just opening up a retirement account. So not only get help, but get somebody that specializes with people that are getting close to retirement, maybe age 50 and older. Get somebody that's done it before, that's been doing it a while. I'm not so concerned about designations. Anybody can go out and take a test, study hard, and get 3 letters behind their name. But to have been through it, I've been through 3 or 4 major market downturns over my 28 years. So we've seen how to avoid them, what to do. And then there's one other final thing, Tony, as well, is not just getting somebody that can, that can sell you some funds and sell you some stocks, but get somebody that has a fiduciary responsibility. A lot of people don't realize that a lot of the agents and brokers out there their license doesn't require them to do the very best job for you. They're just required to not cause any harm. So make sure you look for somebody that's a registered investment advisor, somebody that has that license that requires them to be a fiduciary. And that will mean that they are required to do what's the very best for you. So, point number one is get help, get somebody that knows what they're doing. And, if you want to meet with us and see what we're about, that's fine. If we're not right for you, that's fine too. We have clients, we have people coming to see us all the time. I'm not desperate to find a next client. I'm interested in finding somebody we can help, and that's a good match. So get some help.
Sure. And I think oftentimes people struggle to make that financial transition into a long and prosperous retirement. So how would you help our listeners if they were in that situation?
Well, I've got to say, Tony, our number one step every time we meet with someone is to find out what they're about, find out what their goals are, find out what their plans are, or what their lack of plans may be, and it's all about having a plan first. And I am amazed Tony, how often that people come in and they've never had a plan. They've bought some stuff, they've been sold some investments, they bought an annuity and a policy and something else, but there's no plan. And that is, it's almost a waste of time. It's like me going out and buying a set of 12 windows for a house and not even have a set of blueprints yet. The windows could work, they could work, and maybe I could even build the plans around the windows, but that's backwards. I need that plan. And so, if you walk in to meet with somebody and the first thing they talk about in that first meeting is some investment or opening an account or buying a policy, don't walk away, run away, because they don't have your best interest in heart or in mind. You need a plan. You need to go out first and develop that plan. And, that with our clients, that takes at least a couple of meetings to just find out which direction we're going in. And then we begin developing that plan together with that client to make sure it meets their needs.
Oh, that's fantastic. You know what? We're actually at the end of this first segment. We have to take a quick commercial break. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we do?
Well, there are some folks out there that are going, wow, this is the kind of help I need. So I'd say a great place to start is our website. It's at masterplanyourretirement.com. And basically, it's just a lot of videos, educational segments, and a lot about us and what we do. And that's a good place to start. It also has contact information. You can actually contact us from the website or find our phone number. So again, I'd visit masterplanyourretirement.com. And, while you're there, go ahead and request our retirement income toolkit. It's a great kit that kind of gives you some direction as far as how to begin that process of developing an income plan for your retirement. So let me also give you the phone number. Some folks like to talk directly. You can give our office a call at 770-980-9262.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mark. And listeners, stay tuned, because we're going to be right back with Mark Fricks to learn more about how you can create the retirement income that you need, right here on Financially Tuned after this.
To hear the rest of the show or for more information, go to masterplanyourretirement.com or call Mark at 770-980-9262 to schedule an appointment.